I'm Rae.
And I'm Derek.
We're married.
And we love movies.
So we decided to take on an iconic genre
that we aren't experts in.
Slashers! Join us every other week
as we dive into horror.
This is Lovin' Slashers. Good evening, Derek.
Howdy.
How are you?
I'm fine.
That's great.
On this Monday night.
Where we're talking about a Friday the 13th.
Part 2.
Yes.
This is a part 2.
Uh-huh. It is. Good job.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I'm proud of you.
We just talked about Halloween 2, which is Halloween I.
It is.
This is actually Friday the 13th, part 2.
I'm still upset it's not Saturday the 14th.
Well, it's but it takes place on a Friday the 13th again.
Yeah, 5 years later, apparently Friday the 13th, and
yeah, the dates work out.
Yeah,
the dates work out. The first film was 1979.
Okay,
and this film was 1984. June 13th, Friday, June 13th. Those 2 years.
That doesn't make sense because there are 7 days in the week.
What?
It would take.
But there's not an even number of days in each month, and you've got leap years and all that stuff.
Sure.
So I mean,
did you look it up?
I was told that that's what it was. Did I go and check? I guess here. You want to let's just check.
Yeah, let's do it right now.
All right, we're gonna do it
right
now.
By the way,
while we're doing this, everyone can listen to me check dates.
I'm Rae. That's Derek. This is Lovin' Slashers. We're already talking and getting into fights.
Oops.
How wonderful.
I looked up 1879.
Well, was that a leap year?
Which that would be great. They could go Tremor style and do like a prequel that takes place in the Wild West.
Yeah.
I'd watch that. Here we go.
1977. I'm sorry.
So June. Or not 19. So let's see. Well, that doesn't work.
Yep.
That's a Wednesday.
Okay.
Now, the first movie came out in 1980. That was a Friday the 13th.
Okay.
So let's look at 85 then.
Okay.
And see if that works. So if we look at June 1985, nope, that's a Thursday. I don't know. That's just what the thing says. This is why you can't believe everything on the internet.
Can't believe anything.
No, the dates don't work.
I told you, like...
Look, why would somebody lie about that?
Because it's dumb. Because they're dumb.
Apparently, the reason this is an issue is in the fourth film.
Uh-huh.
Which is called The Final Chapter, by the way.
Sure.
Even though there's like 18 movies after it. That one apparently provides the dating structure. And I guess it's just wrong.
Nope, totally wrong.
Because every movie is always perfectly accurate in its time and continuity.
Look, you said they line up.
I was told they lined up. I apologize for not double checking the calendars.
Yes, I appreciate it. I'm glad you did it while we're recording, so that way everyone can know you were wrong.
It's why I really wish I could just cross out my notes here on the iPad, because that's my Fright Fact number 3.
Yeah.
And
already debunked.
This is what I get. All right. Friday the 13th, part 2 came out in 1981.
Who directed?
Steve Miner, who was the associate producer on the first film.
Okay.
And he, of course, was on this one as well. And he would go on to direct part 3.
Mm-hmm.
And Halloween H2O.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Way to go, Steve Miner.
A little bit of a crossover there.
Yeah, I love that.
It was written by Ron Kurz, who helped write part 1.
Okay.
He also wrote part 3 and the final chapter.
Okay.
Which makes the date continuity thing more problematic since he wrote all 4 of the first 4 films. But all right.
Bro, get it together.
He also he wrote a bunch of shorts that are related, that are Jason-esque.
That's fantastic.
Including a 4-part parody series called An Unfortunate Friday the 13th.
Now, did these get filmed?
Yeah, these are short films.
Are they out there?
I mean, I haven't searched for them, but they are credited. They exist on IMDb as actual short films.
That's fantastic.
So, yeah.
All right.
And there's reviews, so some people have seen them somewhere.
I'm not going to make you, search for them right now, because that just seems mean. made you double check your dates and now this. But do you mind doing that for our next episode? Like,
for our next one on Friday the 13th.
No, just our next episode to like recall and be like, hey, we found those videos. You can watch them here.
Sure, I can do that. Yeah. People don't need to listen to me Googling.
No, they don't. So. Like, nobody wants to do that.
But there you go. There are 3 key actors who appear in this film that were also in part 1.
Right.
Betsy Palmer as Mrs. Voorhees.
Now, did she actually shoot more scenes?
She did.
Okay.
She was very confused by the whole thing.
Sure.
But she did. She shot about a half a day on like a blank screen.
Cool.
And they did model her head, which was
for
used
the
to
bust.
Create. Yes, exactly.
That's amazing. Yeah. I guess it's not really a bust. It's just a head. But
right. Well, in some scenes, it's an actual person's head. It's not fake.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because, well...
And terrifying.
I guess, jumping ahead to another Fright Fact here, but originally, the head was going to wake up at the end of the movie.
No!
But they felt it didn't look serious enough. It looked too silly and fake, so they decided to cut it out. So...
I get that.
So there you go. Adrienne King returns as Alice.
She does.
At the beginning of the movie. And when we get to that, I've got some cool things.
I love it.
To talk about there. And finally, Walt Gorney, who played Crazy Ralph.
Oh, I loved Crazy Ralph.
Returns as well.
Yeah.
So there you go. 3 returning cast members.
Yeah. Now, let's just get right into it with Alice. Like, she's our protagonist from the first one. She's our final girl. They show us the ending of the first movie all over again, just like we got with Halloween 2.
Yeah, back to back.
Back to back. But in this, like, she's a decoy protagonist. She bites it in the first 15 minutes, and it feels tense. Like, I think that's the best shot scene in the whole movie, because you're following her around. She's saying that, like, she's trying to recover and she's doing her own therapy and her parents don't have to overly worry about her.
She's living alone. It's only been, I think they said 2 months.
Something like that, yeah.
So, which breaks some of the timeline a bit.
But... a little bit. I think that's a little premature to be living alone.
I would think I wouldn't want to. I'd be pretty freaked. Every noise would freak me out, I would think. Yeah.
And it clearly does. She hears her window open and or clatter, I guess is a better term. Like, we know that it was opened, but she just hears that. She does do the very, very dumb move of hearing a noise and then immediately going to shower. Yeah, we know from many horror movies that that's a place where people die.
I thought it was going to go a different route. I thought they were going to do like the Psycho route and have her killed in the shower.
Yeah. Well, they played it up really good. Yeah, they did. They had the tense music. They had the zoom ins and so it was a nice bait and switch. They had some good bait and switches in this.
But her shower was faster than the sex scene in the first Halloween movie.
I think they skipped time.
Oh, is that what happened?
I think that's what happened because, I mean, good for her. She can shower that fast.
I need a 5 minutes later. Okay.
I'm sure she makes up all that extra time, like watering those 5,000 plants in her living room.
Yeah, well, that's fair. You would have liked that, though, I think.
Yeah, give me her 1981 living room any day. It was a cute living room. It had fun art and...
So I've got some fun facts about this opening that are pretty cool. These Fright Facts here are fun. These are fun Fright Facts.
Okay.
So Jason's legs that you see walking up to her apartment and everything like that.
Right.
These are actually the legs of Ellen Lutter. She is the costume designer on the film and the only woman to ever portray Jason in one of the official films.
Nice.
So that's pretty cool.
Way to go, Ellen.
Yeah, she's one of 3 actors to portray Jason in the movie. He was also portrayed by Warrington Gillette and primarily Steve Dash, who was a stuntman and basically was Jason anytime he was masked. with the pillow. When it was his actual face, when the pillowcase was off, that was Warrington Gillette. So there you go there. So a little bit there. So Adrienne King returned for this film. She was very excited to be back. She told them she'd do whatever, they wanted her to do. She was just up for it. She did not read a script.
Oh.
And her stuff was more or less unscripted. So like the whole phone call she does with her mom, she had to just ad-lib a one-sided phone call.
God, that must be so tough.
I mean, I think doing a one-sided phone call scripted is still hard, let alone making it up, and just hope, thinking, you have to think what the call and response is.
Absolutely. Your voice has to change in cadence, in tone, and responses. They've got to be different. That's rough.
Now, what's interesting is she was kind of bummed out when she got there because, she didn't know she was being killed off.
Oh.
She certainly didn't know she was being killed off more or less immediately. And she also didn't know that the rest of the movie had already been shot at this point.
No.
This was the final thing shot in the movie. And so everybody else was done.
She didn't even get to meet anybody else?
I don't know about that.
Already wrapped on the camp.
Yeah. And then finally, she got injured. The ice pick that Jason kills her with was supposed to be retractable, and it did not retract on the first take.
Oh my God, how bad was it?
Apparently not super bad, but
okay.
She jokes around that on take 2 they had to aim for the hole in her head.
Oh my God. Adrienne, you poor thing.
But yeah, I mean, at this point though, she so she just, that's it. She doesn't really survive that, and we don't see her after it, and she's gone. She gone.
Yeah. All right. So sorry, Adrienne. I really liked Alice as a final girl.
Yeah.
I liked her more than Jenny. That's for sure.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll get into that then.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as we dive in, I do want to point out one final bit.
Okay.
This movie was originally called Jason.
Okay.
Not Friday the 13th Part 2. And before that, the name of the character was Josh. But they felt Josh wasn't scary enough, so they changed it to Jason.
Well, I kind of understand that. Jason goes back to being a name from ancient Greece, like Jason and the Argonauts. That has some power behind it. Josh is notoriously, just in my personal history, and I'm sorry to any Joshes out there, but it's a douche name, Well,
I'm not gonna subscribe to that, to all of our Joshes out there listening to the show. But what I think happened here, here's what I think happened.
Okay.
I think originally this movie was not connected to the first film.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
All right. And I have something really, aside from the name change, because Mrs. Voorhees says Jason a bunch of times.
A bunch.
In the first film, right? So it's not like they, they wrote that back in later or something. So one of the big reasons that I think that this was changed later is the overall design of the Jason character is heavily based on the 1976 film, The Town That Dreaded Sundown. And if you look up that movie, the dude looks just like the pillowcased Jason.
Nice.
Really, it does. I really see that. So I think they decided at some point that they would tie this back in to the first film, and that's how we got there. So.
Okay. So I want to point one thing out because I enjoy how set designers set up backgrounds so much. If you notice, in her kitchen, there is the famous red and white gingham cookbook done by Better Homes and Garden. And almost everyone I know had a copy of this in their house somewhere. It was always roughed up because it was passed down from great grandma or something. There have been many editions. I believe they are on their 18th at this point, but that has been the number one cookbook since 1930.
Huh.
And Yeah, like it's just absolutely hilarious to me. I always spot it because it is like red and white. It's very bright in the background, and uh, it was it became a bestseller in 3 months in 1930, even though it was the Depression year, because of the spiral binding that was considered innovative for the time.
Huh.
But yeah,
Okay.
they are still making Better Homes and Garden cookbooks today.
Very interesting.
I believe my mom had one from the 50s growing up.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's neat.
Yeah, I thought so. I love fun background stuff. And when I clock certain things, I had to look up the history of it.
That's fair. I didn't notice it. I did not see that.
So Alice is our first kill of the movie. I did the kill count. Same as Halloween 2. So we didn't get an upped ante in this.
So how many is it?
10.
10 counting Alice.
10 counting Alice.
Okay. Well, because I was curious if you count Paul or not.
I do not.
Because it's ambiguous.
No, ambiguous endings, I need to see the body on screen. And I keep track of the order in which they die. And then, in some of these, they were cut off before we saw them die. Terry's a good example of that. But later we see her body at the Pamela Voorhees altar. And
that's right.
She's clearly had some blunt force trauma to the head. So that I went back and wrote down. So, if I see a body on screen, if I see them die, that gets counted. Ambiguous, last time we didn't see, I'm forgetting his name, of course, Jimmy.
Oh, Lance Guest in Halloween 2. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't see Jimmy die, and it turns out there's a cut scene where he's getting medical attention so he doesn't die. Same thing here with Paul. It's left ambiguous for a reason. So he is not counted.
That's fair.
Yeah.
What else you got?
Okay, so I totally forgot the answer to last time's trivia.
Okay.
Which comedian had their debut in Halloween 2? It was Dana Carvey. He played a assistant to a journalist. He was talking to them, getting answers from the woman. I assumed he was also her cameraman at some point by the way she was talking to him. But that was it. Didn't really, his big break did not come from that.
No, I don't think so. He joked that you couldn't even see all of them on screen at the same time, but you see every piece of him at some point, so you could put him together. So
that's the Dana Carvey puzzle I want.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
So moving on, Crazy Ralph is our second kill, which bothers me.
Why does that bother you?
Nobody from the first movie actually survives. They had 3 people come back and all of them die. It's just sad.
I mean, that's pretty common in the slasher films, though.
It is. Yeah, it is. Maybe I'm just, I guess, naive because Jamie Lee Curtis is in so many of the Halloweens.
She's special, though.
She
and that's a different franchise.
She is.
Right? So I think that matters.
Yeah.
I'm
spoiled by Jamie Lee Curtis.
It's also, to be also fair, she also stars in a trilogy of Halloween movies that retcon some of the other Halloween movies she was also in. Which is a little, so it's kind of double dipping a little bit. She's in 2 different Halloween 2s. Okay, so
yes, she is.
Just throwing it out there,
I just like Crazy Ralph. Clearly he is a red herring kind of guy, and
in the first film.
Yeah, and he creeps everybody out, but most people know how harmless he is. So it just harmless characters biting it seems rough to me. And in this one, there are 3 that are like considered the super easy targets, so they should probably be off limits, and nope.
Fair enough. So I guess we should set the scene here a little bit of
Yeah,
what this
please.
is. So
You're really good at that.
oh, well, thank you. Thank you. I've done this a few times over the years. No,
Please.
so in this movie, a bunch of people are learning how to be camp counselors. It's like camp counselors in training. And our kind of 2 main characters, Paul and Ginny, I guess are dating, or they're like kind of a thing.
Kind of like on and off-ish.
Yeah, it's a little weird. But Paul runs this group where he teaches people how to be camp counselors. It's like a boot camp.
Yeah.
And Ginny's going to be there. She shows up late, of course, right? With, the car that doesn't quite work right, because that'll come up later.
I love that trope. That's a fun horror movie trope. The car doesn't work.
Okay, that's fair. So that's John Furey, Furey, F-U-R-E-Y, and Amy Steele. They're kind of our leads of the movie. And this movie has a ton of people in it. There are so many names in this movie. Terry, Ted, Sandra, Mark, Jeff, Vicky, Scott. It just goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
Hard to keep them all straight.
Yeah. I tried for the first 30, 45 minutes to keep track of how many counselors there were. Because I don't remember if we said this or not. Neither one of us had seen this movie before.
I had seen this.
Oh, you had? Oh, okay, my bad.
We skipped
so
our
sorry.
history
Yeah.
with the movies because that's about to end, really, where we don't have a history with really any of these. This is the last movie on our list that I've seen until we get to Halloween H2O.
I've seen most of the Nightmare on Elm Street, so
I only ever saw that first one. So I did see this. I saw this and the original Friday the 13th
back
the
to
same
back.
night
Right.
that I watched the original Halloween. We watched all 3 of those.
That's a good night, man.
Great, yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't really remember this super well. I remembered parts. I remembered Jason's shrine to his mom and his shack.
You remembered the pillowcase on his head because you were talking to me about that before. You were like, oh, he doesn't have the hockey mask in this one.
Yeah. I remembered that. I remember the Beetle, the Volkswagen Beetle, for some reason, which is kind of funny.
It's barely in there.
It's in there. I remember bits and pieces. So I had seen it before.
Okay, I hadn't. So when I saw all those people at the camp, I was like, oh man, that's a high body count. They're all gonna go. No, I thought I counted 15.
Well, the thing is, a lot of them are going to leave, and a lot of them never even get a line. Because at first, you and I actually said it, we were like, man, this is kind of a more diverse cast. Because, there's an Asian woman, there's a black guy, there's a guy in a wheelchair, and 2 of those 3 never even get a line.
No. Not on camera. You see them talk every once in a while.
But you can't hear them.
Yeah,
right?
No, it's not audible.
No.
And even at the bar later on when they go into town,
they're not even
there. They didn't even have them on set. They have everybody get out of the truck, and then the few shots in the bar is with Ted, Paul, and Jenny.
Yeah, basically we never see the rest of the people again.
Hopefully
after that.
They did not go back to the camp.
So apparently this movie bucks that trope of the partying teenager gets killed thing.
Yeah.
Because the teenagers who stay out and party the longest get spared.
They do.
Ted and the others who stay at the bar don't get killed by Jason in this movie.
Yeah, so yeah, go ahead.
I think that's interesting.
No, it's very interesting because not only are we seeing a lot of the tropes be created or popularized, I guess, but we're also seeing, some of them even now, so close to the beginning of our timeline here, being outdone, twisted around, and avoided.
They're not present yet. I think, right? Because we've talked about it. This is our 5th movie. Mm-hmm. And the concept of the partying kids must be punished is only kind of present in the first Friday the 13th. It's not really present in any of the other movies.
Yeah.
right? They're all being killed for other reasons. And I think that's just really interesting that it becomes such a huge trope. And here we are 5 movies in and it's not really a thing.
Right.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Continue.
All right. So Crazy Ralph goes up to the camp, again, trying to warn them. Now, this is the camp next door to Camp Crystal Lake.
It's across the lake.
Yeah. If you're not familiar with this kind of stuff, many areas of just wild wooded places get zoned out for camps and then sectioned off and split up. Lakes can be just absolutely huge, and depending on the size of a lake, they can cut it up into 4 or 5 camps that are still incredibly large and full of opportunities for counselors and kids. So the idea that there's only 2 camps here is not only completely plausible, but there could be even more, just geographically. So Crazy Ralph goes up there and he tells them, they should just go. He's like, you're even too close to this and you should just leave. You should. So I appreciate that. Poor guy is like going to leave after he warns them, and he gets the garrote.
He does.
This is our second garrote. We have a variety of kills in this one too.
A lot.
Yeah.
Funny enough, the only thing that we don't see him kill anybody with is the hatchet that he's holding on the cover of the movie.
Oh my God.
Though a hatchet shows up, we never actually see him use it on anybody.
Right.
So
we do have some really fun, forewords. We see a character grab the chainsaw and then put it aside later, and the good guy gets the chainsaw in this one,
which was cool.
Right.
Very, very Ash,
very Ash. It was nice
before Ash. But very cool. I like that.
Absolutely. But the next death we see is actually considered a bad omen kind of thing, and that's where we see the muffin look-alike.
Yeah, the dead animal
that has been disemboweled.
Well, because Sandra and whoever her boyfriend is Mark or
Jeff.
Is it Jeff? Okay.
It's Jeff.
Sorry, they're just names now on this list.
I got you. I keep track of...
You got the family trees?
I got it.
Okay.
I'm with you. Sandra and Jeff, who are arguably some of the campers that we spend the most time with, probably because they are, from the beginning, set up as the cute couple.
Mm-hmm.
They are the Kevin Bacon and whatever her name was in the first one.
Well, and I think when the movie was starting, we get introduced to Sandra and Jeff early on. They're kind of our entry point to the main story. I thought you mentioned something about how young Sandra looked.
Yes.
And I made a joke about, she's probably 26 though. Yeah, no. So, fun fact, she was only 16. And that becomes not fun because there was a scene that never made it into the movie but was actually shot that exists on a tape somewhere.
You're going to say it, aren't you?
Where she's just naked. Full frontal nudity of a 16-year-old. That's not good.
Nope. That is child porn,
it's
everyone.
Not good. This movie, I don't think that scene was ever going to be included for that reason. But this movie originally had an X rating. And they had to cut content, including some gore, not just nudity, to get it down to an R rating.
It did come across, based on the fact that, first of all, Scott is continually leering at Terry, and Terry is not wearing a bra the entire time. She does not wear a bra. Same with Sandra. She does not wear a bra.
But she was wearing a bikini top. That's a little different, right?
Not when she was swimming. Yeah, but I meant under the rest of the time.
Oh, yeah.
Just from her first scene. And then, of course, they set up Sandra and Jeff and Vicky and Mark in the cabin for sexy times. And so it totally came across there was way more nudity originally planned.
Yeah. Well, they definitely cut stuff. There's a new version of these movies. So all the Friday the 13th original films got re-released in 2020 by Shout Factory.
Okay.
And this special collection has a bunch of deleted content. And so it has all of the removed scenes from this movie except the one of Marta Kober, who played Sandra, because she was underage.
Yeah. She absolutely looked it. As soon as I saw her, I watched it. I was laying on your lap and I was like, I bet that chick's 14.
You did, and I was just thinking about how, like, so far all these teenagers have been in their 20s, and so I was like, she must just look really young. It never occurred to me that they would have done that. So that's not so great. But one of the other scenes that was deleted was one of hers, this impale scene where she's impaled with her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Apparently the original version of that was far more gory.
Okay.
So
a lot of it was left to the imagination.
Mm-hmm.
We just kind of see her, the hand of fate kind of scene where she sees it, but not in time to, like, say anything.
The Manos hand of fate?
No.
Oh, okay. That's the best hand of fate.
Oh, yeah?
Uh-huh.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so we get, like, the first 4 deaths are really to set the scene up as being incredibly scary, that there's no one to really help these counselors. They are just free for the Jason picking. Yeah. So you get Alice, the protagonist from the first movie, so no one is safe. The final girl doesn't get to be final for a second time. You get Crazy Ralph, who's like the innocent who tries to warn everybody. Love those doomsday criers. And then the third one is, of course, the muffin lookalike. That it was not even like for food, like in the first Halloween where Michael ate the dog. It was for fun. Like,
to be fair, though, we don't know that Jason did that. We don't know.
We don't.
Could have been another animal. Maybe the animal got scared away or something.
Maybe.
You didn't get to eat it?
Something.
We don't know.
But come on. We doubt it, right? Like, the whole time they're setting him up as like this maniac.
Well, yeah, and we're supposed to think that it's the dog because the dog's missing.
Yeah. That's why I called it the muffin lookalike.
But like, so, we're supposed to think that that's the dog, but obviously it's not. We learn that later. So I just think that, like, it's kind of, it's a red herring, and I think it could be in multiple ways. Yeah. There's nothing saying that Jason did that.
Well, number 4 is our Deputy Winslow. And he clearly does drive-by checks of the camp quite often to make sure nobody trespasses on Camp Crystal Lake.
He was so mad.
Oh, man. He was so mad.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he got a hammer claw to the back of the head, so...
He finds Jason's shed.
Which is so well done. That setup is so creepy.
Yeah.
It is really good how well done it is.
There's just a lot of things that collection of scenes does really well. Like when he finds the shrine, we don't know what it is yet.
Yeah.
As an audience, it's very much like the briefcase in Pulp Fiction,
yeah.
where you open it up and it kind of, there's a light emanating from it, but we don't get to see what it is, right? It just reminded, obviously this was first by 15 years, but it just reminded me of that as a concept. And so I thought that was really cool. The shed looks really great. It clearly looks like it's been there for 50 years and it's totally run down, but
or that over the years between, puberty and him being an early adult here, he built it on his own with random stuff that he found. And so...
Yeah, I mean, supposedly, we're supposed to believe that he built it.
Right.
Right, in some capacity.
Yeah.
Though that leads to some of the other logistical problems with the film, which is like, why does his mom not know he's alive?
Yeah.
Right? So part of the problem with this movie...
Or she could be keeping him in the shed. Dun, dun, dun.
Then why is she killing people claiming her son is dead? It just doesn't really
Well, clearly
work.
she went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
But she's after it for revenge. And that's a motive that makes sense. But if he's been alive the entire time, then that just doesn't really work as much. And so Betsy Palmer hated the concept, but also Sean S. Cunningham, who directed the original film, he hated the concept. And Tom Savini, who was like the special effects master.
Yeah, we
on the
talked
first
about
film,
how amazing he is just as a person and makeup artist.
he didn't think the idea made any sense either. So you had three pretty large personalities in the first film.
Puzzle pieces, like they're bigger
Yeah,
ones.
I think that this makes no sense.
Yeah.
And I agree that like just all we go from here's a kid who died in the lake. 15 years later, his mom's killing people because she's, lost her mind and she's after revenge and all of this. But now here he is. He's a grown adult living in the woods, but she doesn't know that, I guess, or something. But then who is the boy who jumped out of the lake at the end of the first film? Or did that not really happen?
Yeah.
So, like, it just creates more problems.
Yeah.
Than it really solves.
I completely agree that the evolution of Jason, what we have right now, and what his legacy has become, the hockey mask, the machete guy, versus where we start out with Friday the 13th, part 1 and 2, makes zero sense. Like, no.
I mean, look, at some point he goes to space. So I think,
know.
we just have to...
I think
I think it's the 10th film.
by 3 or 4, when we get to that, they're just going to lean into it. They're going to be like, yeah, you know what? Let's just kill some teenagers.
Well, Jason X is the one where he goes to space.
Uh-huh.
But Jason 4 is the final chapter.
Yes, Derrick.
And then he goes to hell at one point.
Yeah, and
right?
he takes Manhattan.
And, right.
There's only
with the Muppets.
Yeah. That's my favorite Muppet movie. I love that movie so much. Oh my gosh. So good.
Before we move on from Tom Savini, though, since I did bring him up, I thought it might be interesting to tell people who did the special effects then for this movie. So Tom Savini was not available and or maybe didn't want to do it. So they were going to have Stan Winston do it.
Oh, dang.
Who is just one of the all-time greats.
Yeah.
But he had a scheduling conflict.
Sure.
So he couldn't do it. So they got Carl Fullerton, who people might know now, but at the time had really only been known for doing The Wiz.
Interesting.
But now he has done just an absolute ton of big stuff, including The Return of Swamp Thing, Glory, Goodfellas, Silence of the Lambs, The Shadow, Training Day, Munich, and all 3 Equalizer films. He's actually worked on a lot of Denzel Washington films. He's done John Q and several others, the one where he's the pilot.
I like that.
Yeah, I mean, so this guy clearly went on and had a fantastic career, but he was, no offense to him, he was the third choice at this point.
I mean, The Wiz is pretty good as far as makeup and special effects go. That's, people have different opinions on that one, but yeah, the special effects, the makeup, that was so much fun.
I mean, I think he does a good job in this movie, too.
Yeah.
Right? The movie looks good.
Yeah, the kills look good, which is why we were really saying made the first one so iconic that it was probably just going to be a B, maybe even a C movie. And we wouldn't be talking about it today if it hadn't been for some of the effects.
Totally.
All right. So here is where we get some of the best tropey stuff ever. I love campfire horror stories.
Okay.
I love that. We've all heard the story of the crazy guy with the hook for the hands and, before...
Aquaman.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Aquaman, Jason Momoa.
No, he has his hands.
I know. They decided not to go that route.
Yeah, I'm talking about the jacked blonde one from the cartoon.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course you are. So, but no, that legend has been there forever, before I Know What You Did Last Summer, before any Scooby-Doo's with it.
Before Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yes. Yeah. It's so much fun. And Paul recounts the story of Jason in such ridiculous, dramatic, overzealous detail that it really does kind of scare some of the counselors. And then he's like, oh, by the way, let's go get some beers.
Yeah. It's a funny scene. Ted jumps out and scares everybody with that cool mask, which I really thought that mask was going to come back because it's on this. They have it on the spear,
and then they have it on the stairs,
and we see it. There's shots of the staircase like on it like 6 times, and I'm like, okay, so Jason's going to put the mask on, and But I was like, okay, so is Jason going to put the mask on? And I just don't remember him doing that, But it never happens. It never comes back. It just sits there until somebody picks it up later for no reason.
But Ted literally looks like a Scooby-Doo villain. It is fantastic.
But for 1981, I thought that was a pretty good looking mask.
It was.
For like a Halloween mask.
Yeah, it was. Freaky looking. It would have scared me with a jump scare like that. Like I would have been one of the ones to go, ah!
That would be like a really niche
cosplay
deep cut costume to do. Right? If Spirit Halloween sold that mask, Like, who are you supposed to be? Oh, I'm the one mask from Friday the 13th Part 2.
I'm Ted impersonating Jason in Friday the 13th Part 2.
Jeez, how did you not get that?
Yeah. All right.
We're off the rails.
Yes,
tonight.
we are.
It only took 5 episodes.
Yeah. So continuing, we have 2 very obvious kills. Like we get 6 people that stay behind that don't get to go out partying. Mark keeps saying that he's in training, so he doesn't drink or smoke weed. Like,
does he ever say what he's in training for?
No, Vicky even calls him out on it. She's like, "What are you training for?"
And he doesn't answer,
doesn't respond. Okay. He just looks at her, and I'm like, okay, well, thank you.
Yeah, okay. I was like, did I just not hear him say it or something?
Yeah, no. Terry wants to stay behind because Muffin's gone. Scott wants to stay behind because Terry's gone. And then Jeff...
Because Terry's staying.
Because Terry's staying. And then Jeff and Sandra are staying because they're being punished for trespassing.
That's right.
Yeah.
They went to Camp Crystal Lake when they weren't supposed to.
Exactly. So...
Those pesky kids.
Meddling kids. But...
And their dog.
I think Scott's death might be like my favorite because he is the character that deserves it the most.
I mean, he's a dick.
Yeah,
but that's I don't know that he deserved to be killed.
No. But we're looking at this in the level of victims and everything. Like he's the only one who's like a bad person on screen.
Yeah,
so that's the only one like I really wasn't rooting for. And the dum-dum he steps in a trap that he was part of earlier. Like he says, damn Paul and your survival skills. Like clearly
So I don't know if he was saying that because that was the assumption he was making.
Right.
Or if that was literally what it was supposed to be. Like, did Jason set the trap? Because we never see Jason do that.
No.
He never sets traps in these first 2 films.
To me, Jason's...
Well, he's not in the first one. You know what
right,
I mean?
Yeah. Jason's not a clever murderer, whereas Michael is. He was methodical. He thought of, cutting power lines, cutting phone lines, sabotaging all the cars.
Well, doesn't Jason do that? Aren't the phones out?
The phones are out.
I think Jason kind of does the same stuff that Myers does. He's just doing it in a little bit more aggressive of a manner.
I don't know if it's as well thought out. There's plenty of times where, just like Pamela in the first movie, he had to wait in places for a very long time. It looks like hours have gone in between.
But I think he can get away with that, though, because they're so remote.
That's fair.
Right? Versus where Halloween, that just takes place in a normal town, Midtown America, right? Haddonfield, Illinois. And this is like on Camp Crystal Lake in the middle of nowhere, and the cops are like, don't be here, kids. And, that's like what it is, right? So I feel like he's just got the time.
Right. And that could be. I don't think that he set the trap.
No, I agree. I just wasn't sure what we were supposed to take away from that line, if that was supposed to be a guess on Scott's part or the literal truth.
Right. So this dude has been leering at Terry and hitting on her, and she's clearly not having any of it. He takes her clothes when she's skinny dipping, and fun fact, those are only boobs shown. It's her boob count is Terry.
Yeah, the scene's kind of ridiculous, though.
It is. There's no reason for her to skinny dip.
First, she says she goes out to look for her dog. Now, we already know...
She's going to take a walk.
We already know that they have swimsuits because we see them swimming in the daytime.
Yeah.
So she could have brought her swimsuit.
Yes.
Right? But instead, she's going to abandon the search for her missing dog to swim in a lake in the middle of the night naked by herself.
Which is why Terry is my second favorite death, because she's a big old dum-dum. Like, big old dum-dum. Like, that's... I don't care how safe you are feeling. That is not something I would ever do. You don't go swim in a dark lake by yourself naked. Like, you have zero protection. Like, come on, what if, like, a little fish, like, bit your cooch or something? Like...
Is that a thing that she needed to be worried about?
It could happen. Fish are tiny and they are able to get in smaller places. They could just right up there and like nibble on a labia.
Okay. Fair enough. I was more thinking she could just like drown or something.
Right? Yeah.
You know, like,
no, that's the obvious.
Yeah. And it's dark. Like it's a lake. You can't really see through the water anyway, but...
Those lakes are notorious for like really big slippery rocks because they're covered in algae and all kinds of mosses.
Algae?
Algae.
We say algae and GIF on this podcast, okay? She's so mad at me right now. Look, your Miss speaks well, okay?
Oh God, that's an awful nickname. Please don't ever call me that. But yeah, Scott and Terry bite it because they're basically dumb.
Yeah. They're the only two that die for being kind of stupid.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, everybody else, not so much. Terry says that she's going to cut down Scott. She doesn't have anything to do it with, so she goes back to her cabin and she finds a Swiss Army knife. Like, that's gonna take a while.
Well, that's all she could find. Like, that part was fine. That didn't bother me.
Now, Scott doesn't look like a weakling. I'm actually a little surprised he didn't try to pull himself up, because even if Jason didn't come along, I would assume by then he would have passed out. You know?
I've never been in a position like that, so I have no idea.
You've never been caught in like a trap like that?
A Looney Tunes Wile E. Coyote trap? No Acme ropes. But I got to imagine that the core strength required to pull yourself up enough to be able to then have your leg be loose, so you can loosen the rope. I got to imagine the average person can't do that.
I just meant like a little more. Enough so that not all the blood would rush to his head and he'd pass out.
But how long could you hold like that?
I don't know.
I gotta believe that the average person can't do that.
Either way, it's a bad scenario, and I don't think he was coming down from that. He could have easily just died from blood rushing to his head too much. Like, we knew he wasn't going to.
I don't know how common that is. I think passing out is one thing.
Yeah,
but
that's fair.
I don't think you die from that. I think you end up not feeling good.
But when Terry comes back, she's like, "Hey, Scott, are you ready for me to cut you down?" Scott, why aren't you talking? And then she slowly, like, come on. You wait until that long before you turn him around. Like, I would have immediately checked this guy's face to see if he was still awake or something.
It's called suspense.
No, it's called being a dum-dum. They're dumb characters.
Okay.
He is a pervert of the highest degree, just compared to everybody else. And she is a stereotypical, I'm gonna take a walk in the woods and then swim naked. Oh my God. Like, she's just the worst kind of character for women.
I mean, Vicky runs around with no pants on.
She does.
It's not much better.
No. And
why doesn't she put pants on?
I don't know. I'm very confused. Why? Like, she does eventually, because when she goes back to the cabin and she finds Jeff and Sandra, she's wearing jeans.
Yeah.
But, like, we don't see that.
No, she goes back and gets pants. But
yeah.
But she goes outside, again, in the dark, right? Goes out to her car or whatever, no pants on.
What does she get in the car? It's like, I'm sitting there thinking she's going to grab a condom, but she doesn't. She grabs something else. And I was like, well, that's lame.
Yeah, I don't remember what she grabbed from the car. Was it like makeup or something?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I
But she is super into Mark.
Yeah, she is not playing around. Girl's not even subtle. She's just like, dude, let's do this.
Yeah.
Like, you're hot. I'm here for it. Let's make this happen.
And he's like, cool. She
does
does ask him, she's
late.
like, so does like everything work?
Uh-huh. I love it. He's like, I get by.
Right? I'm like, man, just like say what you want to say, girl.
I am here for Vicky and her being obvious, because it's not that he was totally naive and didn't pick up on it at all, but like he definitely did not reciprocate as earlier as some other people would.
It's because his head is in the training.
The training.
He's
training.
Yeah.
He's training.
That's right.
Well, Mark is the next one to get it. He gets really excited about sex with Vicky.
Sure,
and,
yeah.
You know, she goes off to get all sexed up, which she takes off one sweater and puts on another sweater. Girl, what are you doing?
But she does take her pants off, which does up the sexiness.
And she puts on some kind of sexy underwear. So here's something that we haven't come across yet. We got 1980s Bush in this movie twice. You get to see Terry completely nude, and you get to see Vicky's downstairs.
You do?
You do. It's through the mirror reflection from Jason's point of view when he's watching her.
Wow, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
You picked it up, though. I didn't notice.
I did. I'm a really good wife to you.
Yes, I have to go back to the movie now and watch that scene again so I don't miss it.
But, so now we got a boob count. We got a bush count. I might
and it's 2 and 2.
Yeah. I might add in butts.
Yeah, okay.
And, if we ever get dudes, maybe balls or peen.
Yeah.
The only one without a B word.
Sorry.
I know. Alliteration, guys. Come on. But yeah, so Mark gets one of my what the fuck moments. Mark goes out in the rain, try and check on Vicky. He swirls around once. No Jason. Swirls around a second time. There's Jason. Machete to the face.
Yeah, the iconic machete. That's Jason's thing.
That's the first machete. Or no. Scott was killed with the machete slitting his throat. Yeah. So I apologize.
But it's the first time we really get a good look at the machete.
Yeah.
Because that becomes his iconic weapon.
It does.
Right? Where Mike Myers kind of has the kitchen butcher knife.
Yeah.
Or not butcher knife, but the kitchen knife.
And
the steak
Freddy's
knife
got the claws.
And Freddy's got his claws. Jason's got the machete.
Yeah. Well, so that should be it. That's a good enough death. Where did those stairs come from that he fell down? Those stairs were not there earlier. That was unnecessary, brutal death scene to someone who is considered like not a threat. And
it bothered me because it made me question, did they have this character be in a wheelchair simply so that's how he could die?
Yeah.
Or did they come up with the death later and they were like, hey, we've got this guy in the wheelchair. This is an opportunity. Which do you chicken before the egg? What do you think?
Yeah, I think they wrote the character to have that scene.
That's terrible.
And like it's horrible. It's like there's zero tact in it.
Is it supposed to be funny?
I don't know, because it came off like, oh man, that is so tasteless. Like, that's just not okay.
It just kept going.
Yeah.
It kind of felt like a Family Guy gag a little bit. You know, like I feel like there's one where he just kind of keeps falling down the stairs, you know, over and over again.
It's definitely an over punishment, you know, like the first time somebody pointed that out to me was in Jurassic World, where her assistant gets picked up by the pterodactyls or the pteranodons, and she gets like thrown back and forth, bit, and then she's eaten by the Mosasaurus.
She had a bad day.
Yeah, it's just over punishment, considering she was the very first female victim in the Jurassic Park series, and then she's like the most tortured throughout the whole thing. Like, most people got to die really fast.
Well, I think the thing with Mark is I think he's dead long before he starts going down the stairs.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big difference between those two examples is she's still alive.
Yeah.
For most of that, he's not.
It's just he has a long death scene for no reason. These deaths are usually incredibly fast. That's the whole point. Is, you know, that's why they're called slashers, because it's stabbed and done and that's it.
Well, I guess one slow one from Halloween 2, of course, is the nurse who gets bled out with the IV.
Yeah, that was.
So there are two now that have been really slow.
Oh, what's the one in here?
The Mark one.
Oh, it's just long. Like, the death wasn't slow. But the scene.
Fair enough.
Because her scene was short.
Yeah, well,
we
don't even get to see it. She's already dead.
Yeah, it's the opposite thing. Like, she died very slowly, but it was a very short scene that we see her. And then Mark probably dies very quickly, you know, machete to the brain. But his death scene is unnecessarily long and punished, and it wasn't cool.
No.
But, like, just immediately after Jason goes in the house, he finds the spear, he finds Jeff and Sandra.
This is where I'm like, oh, he's going to put that mask on. That's going to be fun, because I didn't remember that.
Yeah.
Mainly because it doesn't happen.
But... No, it doesn't. But... Poor guys, they get speared together. And can we just say...
it's romantic, really.
First of all, I was actually going to say, it is super cute that they had already orgasmed, they had already finished, and the guy crawled up on top of her again, was just giving her sweet little kisses on her face. Like, they're a cute couple.
They're supposed to be, right? They're supposed to be... They're like the only real couple in the movie. Right, that already existed when they got there, and they're happy and they're together.
Paul and Jenny are clearly
something's
on and off, and they have fun kind of teasing and tormenting each other, verbal sparring. You know, Vicky's trying to hook up. We don't know if she wants to take this further outside of the camp or not. She's just like, damn, this dude's great. Terry is avoiding Scott as much as possible. And then, you know, we got Jeff and Sandra, who stick by each other the entire movie. They're always holding hands or hugging. They have nothing but, like, nice things to say about each other. They're always flirting. And so...
they get to die together.
They do. But they're really cute post-coitus. And then they get speared. And that's awful. Like, that is gross. Like, the bloody mess. And him, like, laying in the bed on top of it. And they say...
I don't think he does. I think he moves their bodies.
Oh, right. I just meant, like, on the blood. Because that's what Jenny finds.
I mean, I'm sure he's laid in worse living out in the woods. I mean...
Disemboweled dog.
I'm just saying.
He does have his own toilet. So, clearly, he knows to...
That was the only thing that made me think that he didn't build the place... that it was abandoned at some point and he moved into it.
The way that it was all put together made me think that he built around it.
Maybe.
Like, maybe it was an outhouse or something, or a latrine.
In the middle of nowhere?
Well, some camps have that.
It's not near the camps, though. That's why nobody knows it's there. The cop kind of stumbles across it.
Well, it's on the Camp Crystal Lake property, and considering nobody's been out there for a while.
Well, we don't actually know where it is in relation to either camp. Because there's no map at this point, right? Maybe there's one later in the series.
Maybe.
But right now, we just know that it's in the woods, right?
I assumed it was on the Camp Crystal Lake property, and since people don't go there very often.
Because we don't see it in the first film, and because it's not shown in relation to anything else, I don't know that we can make that leap.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. So let's go back to the bar.
Sure.
Well, okay.
Ted's drunk and he's hitting on the bartender.
He has way too many beers for that tiny of a man.
So many beers.
So many beers.
Yeah. I never really understood. I'm not really a drinker, as you know, but I've known some people who can just drink more beer than I know where to put liquid. Like, it could just be water and I can't keep up with that. I just don't know where it's going.
You're like, I don't even have enough house plants for that amount of liquid.
I don't understand.
No. It was so much.
Yeah.
I forgot. Vicky finds Jeff and Sandra, and she is stabbed very unceremoniously. And we get the bright white cut.
Those bright white cuts happen multiple times in the movie.
3 or 4 of them. It was awful.
We're watching this in the dark. We have kind of a pseudo home theater set up here. It is bright as hell, and I hated it.
Yeah,
it serves no purpose. It's not scary. It's not startling. It just hurts my eyes.
That was another one of my what the fuck moments.
But there are like 3 of them.
Mark's death, the cuts to the bright white. You get one for Terry, you get one for Mark, and you get one for Vicky. And I don't remember if you get any at any other point, but God, it was awful.
We didn't talk about the very opening title of the movie has like the big explosion.
Oh my God, that's my other what the fuck moment. I had 3 and that was it. Like the credits, the cuts to the bright white, and Mark's death.
It just reminded me, it felt more like a parody of a movie than, you know?
Yes, I kept...
Like Team America or something? I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, so Ginny and Paul are going to head back to camp.
Well, we have that monologue from her sympathizing with the legend of Jason. And here's where
she's majoring in psychology.
Child psychology.
Child psychology. Which, hey, fun fright fact about Amy Steele.
Who is the actress of Jenny.
Yeah. So she actually, she did not act much after this movie. She did a little bit, but then she left acting and she became a marriage and family therapist.
Good for her.
So there you go.
That's fun.
Yeah. Continue.
No, I like the foreshadowing to her life. That's fun.
Yeah.
But she comes up with some really weird, far-fetched, like, explanations for the Jason myth, and we get our first slur. We haven't had a slur yet in these films, and she says the R word, and I will not repeat it because it's awful. But
no, that was just out of place and sucks.
Yeah. It's very product of the times, but that doesn't mean we have to like it.
Nope.
You know, so she immediately loses points for that. But when she gets back to the camp, you know, when she and Paul get back, they pretty much discover things are bad, like, right away. Lights are on, even though people should be, like, relatively calm and asleep by now. You've got a lot of stuff out of place, like, parts of the cabin look just absolutely a mess. And when they go upstairs, they find Jason in the bed where he had killed Jeff and Sandra. And it's all bloody and gross. And this is where we see his face, really, for the first time, with the pillow case on it, or burlap sack, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And only his left eye is exposed.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pillowhead. Sackhead. Whatever.
That's the thing that if you look up the movie I was talking about, The Town That Dreaded Sundown, if you look that up, like that's the look that they're matching from that movie, except that character has both eyes cut out of their sack, but like whatever.
So his outfit, his whole look totally reminded me of the bug from Men in Black, Vincent D'Onofrio's character.
Oh, sugar and water.
Yeah.
That
guy.
Oh man, it is weird to think that guy is Kingpin. Like, that's the same guy.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Look, they're both really bad dudes.
But he's a really good actor.
Yeah.
Such a good actor.
I have more appreciation for Men in Black now, just watching him do that. Like, he had to walk with that really weird
his back is always like weird.
Gates,
It's
and
so
he
great.
walked with like his face contorted the whole time. And I know there's makeup on top of it, but like still,
it's so good though.
Yeah,
all his mannerisms and stuff. He kills that role. What a tangent that is.
Right.
Let's move back to.
If anybody's listening to all
Crystal
these,
Lake.
you should count how many times I reference other movies that have nothing to do
that
with
aren't horror. Or,
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fair. Yeah,
Crystal
so
Lake.
they're gonna fight Jason now.
They do a pretty good job.
They do okay. Paul
You know?
and Jason wrestle. They
Yeah.
wrestle.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to believe Paul's dead for a minute because he doesn't get up,
Yeah.
but Jason does.
Dun, dun, dun.
And so Ginny has to run.
Run, Jenny!
So, she hides around the car. It's Vicky's car, And
She hides under a bed.
Yeah, and then either she does or a mouse pees. It's unclear.
Yeah, so there's debate. The director said that it was the rat. Like, rats don't pee that much, man. It was her.
They also made a point to make sure that Jason noticed it.
Yeah.
So, I feel like it's supposed to be her then.
Right.
So...
Also, it was really, gross looking. Like, girl, drink some water.
Well, the word on the street is they use Coke.
Oh, man, can't even
So-
use Sprite for the girl.
Well, I'm just saying, that's what they said. I don't know. Yeah, so she's hiding out, and that happens, and then they're fighting. And
But she runs and she finds the shack, and oh my god, it's so good when she does, because she's like, help me, and she doesn't know that it's Jason's shack, but we know.
yeah,
And so we finally see the creepy ass altar and the head from the opening scene.
Jason gets his mom's head back and makes a shrine to it.
And apparently just carries it with him at times.
Sometimes. And her sweater is there, and so Ginny puts on the sweater to try and, make Jason think she's his mom.
It was a very unique way to get out of the situation. I'll give her that. I wouldn't have done that. I
No.
think I just would have died.
Fair enough. It
'cause
almost works.
that was nasty.
It almost works. And this is where we get our Betsy Palmer scenes that she shot new for this movie.
Yeah.
Right? Which I think worked really well, actually. I thought
The
they were really
overlay, the editing for it. It was pretty good.
good. Yeah. This is all very... the set design here is absolutely phenomenal.
This camp looks way better than Camp Crystal Lake did in the first one.
You think so?
I do. I think it's just set up better. I think a lot of the, scenes and where they take place,
Fair enough. I like the shack, though. I really feel like it just looks completely real, completely believable. Everything just looks great. It's all grimy and gross and worn down, and none of it looks manufactured. It's awesome.
If you came across that in the woods, you'd immediately know something was wrong. I would never run in there for help.
Nope, I turn around and walk the other way because at best you're going to get shot.
At best you're going to get tetanus just from looking at it.
Yeah, maybe.
Ugh.
But Paul saves the day.
Yeah, he comes in there. He stops Jason from killing her. Goes back to the cabin.
He's hurt now, though.
Yeah.
He's been injured.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah, they go back to the cabin.
Dumb move.
Right? And, where else are they going to go? The car won't start.
That's fair.
Right? Where are they going to go?
This is when she puts the machete in his shoulder.
Right.
So we think that he's at least down. She may think that he's going to die.
That's fair.
So
let's talk about that a little
Please.
bit. So this is Steve Dash.
Okay.
He was the stuntman who played Jason in this movie. And so he plays Jason most of the time. I think I mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
If Jason's face is not being shown, then it's Steve Dash. If his face is being shown, it's Warrington Gillette. So the sack face, sack head and all that, that's all Steve. So in this scene... So Steve got hurt a lot during this movie.
Yeah, it looked like he took some pretty bad blows.
He broke his ribs falling on the pickaxe at one point. He was knocked unconscious at one point.
Oh, shoot.
And in this scene in particular, Ginny hit him with the machete, and sliced his finger open.
Jesus Christ.
And he had to go get stitches immediately.
And then come back and shoot again?
Well, here's the thing. He had to go to the hospital with the fake machete in and everything. So he had to go to the hospital like that. Then he came back and he pressured everybody to keep shooting. He didn't want them to have to wrap for the day. Stunt people, they are hardcore. They are so hardcore.
Between us watching Only Murders in the Building this season and the Fall Guy, like, that's easily what we learned from this.
I mean, look, the fact that stunt people have not been given the accolades they deserve, even now in 2024, is just really embarrassing.
Brutally maim their bodies.
For these films, like, these movies can't exist the way they do without these people. They do such an incredible work.
And very few actors do all their own stunts.
Yeah, not everyone can be Tom Cruise.
Right? And even he's had stunt doubles at times, depending on what film it is.
But yeah, so anyway, he got hurt a lot.
Oh, poor guy.
Yeah. But here they go back to the cabin. They've got the door locked. They think that he's there. And then he bursts through the window in slow motion.
When Muffin's returned.
Oh, yeah, right. Muffin comes back. Yeah.
Muffin.
And then here is, Jason bursting through the window. Apparently in one of the takes, the window didn't break and he hit his head.
Jesus Christ. That poor guy. And this is where we get the ambiguous ending. I assume that the other campers came back at some point, and that's why there's medical attention there.
But what do you think happened? Jason burst through the window, grabbing Ginny. Paul is across the room. It's not like he has a gun or something.
No.
How does she get away?
I think that she probably doesn't, because she seems to just wake up calling out for Paul. So I think it's likely that Paul got over there, like he fully grabbed her, and maybe she hit her head and passed out.
But what happened to Jason?
Yeah, Jason and Paul are like, they're still fighting to this day.
They're in the wind.
Yeah. No, they're old men fighting to this day.
Fair enough. Now there was an ending that they ended up not including because they didn't really feel like they could pull it off, and that was the head of Mrs. Voorhees coming back to life.
Yeah.
Now, theoretically, that was supposed to also allude to Paul being dead. So I don't know if that meant like Paul's body was in that room maybe when we see that scene happen or something like that. But because the scene was cut and was never released as part of the film, it's not canon.
Yeah,
so
that's fair.
Paul, we don't know.
Oh.
What happens to Paul. We do know that they really wanted Ginny to survive because they wanted her to return in the third film. Mm-hmm. But she actually turned it down. Her agent suggested that if she were to do that, it would hinder her getting other roles. So she turned it down, and she later regretted that decision.
Yeah, that's fair. I can see that. There's no guarantee that there's more work in the future. So if you have fun on a project, maybe go back if they invite you back. That
would be my take. But hey, what do I know? I'm not an agent. I'm not an actor. I might have tried doing the voice acting gig, but that went real well. So, what do I know?
You got paid singles of dollars.
That's true. I think I made $23 or $24 doing an audiobook once.
You're a 20-aire.
I am a dollar's heir. My last Fright Fact.
Please, close us out.
Roger Ebert reviewed this film.
Okay.
He gave it half a star.
Good for him. I would agree with that. This is half a star kind of movie.
He thought it was really terrible. I would give it more than half a star.
No.
That's rough. But there you go.
Those are Roger Ebert is comparing this to every other movie ever made. Like, yeah, half a star.
But see, that's not fair, though, because it's not trying to be...
But that was their whole thing. That was their whole thing. And oftentimes both of them went back and changed their mind. They were like, okay, yeah, I like this one a lot more now.
I think it's important to judge a movie on what it's trying to do.
Well,
not every movie is trying to be The Godfather or Citizen Kane.
No.
It's just that there's not. And we don't want every movie to try and be those things. And sometimes the movies that get those accolades are not really as good as people say they are. So, I think it's a little pretentious.
I get that. But they were pretentious.
And I don't like that.
Okay.
That's all. I'm calling them out.
We have been pretentious movie critics at times.
I don't think I've ever been pretentious. I might be critical. And I might nitpick things that I think are continuity issues. But I don't think I've been pretentious about movies.
We did 200 episodes or such of Screen Heroes.
253.
Yeah, I think you could probably find a time or two when I was pretentious. So
well, maybe you. I'm saying I wasn't pretentious. I could definitely be critical of movies and have problems with them.
Yeah, of course.
But I don't think I'm pretentious about movies.
Okay, so we're 5 movies in.
Yes.
Rank them.
Rank them?
Yeah, do it
on
right
the
now.
Spot? Okay,
on the
5
spot.
movies in, ranking on the spot, talking like this to kind of pad my time. I think Nightmare goes first.
You like that one best?
I really like Nightmare. I really do.
Second one?
Second one, I think, has got to be the first Halloween. Yeah, the first Halloween. And then I'm going to go Halloween 2. And then Friday the 13th Part 1 and Friday the 13th Part 2.
So I would have the exact same list, except I would swap Halloween and Nightmare.
Okay.
I think I liked the first Halloween more than the first Nightmare on this rewatch, but...
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I really liked Halloween 2 a lot.
Yeah.
But, it gets harder when a movie legitimately can't stand on its own without the one before it.
And it cannot. It
right?
needs it.
It absolutely needs it. Where at least like Friday the 13th Part 2, you can make very minor adjustments to have that movie exist on its own.
Oh, yeah.
Right? But you can't do that with Halloween 2. But I think that's how I would rank that.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Any closing notes?
Closing notes would be that, I'm really now kind of like, I'm really looking forward to what's to come on the show, because now it's a long time before I've seen another movie. It's Halloween H2O is the next movie I've seen. And for those who are just joining us, I'm not sure why you would join us for part 2 of Friday the 13th, but welcome to the show and thanks for listening. But we're doing those 3 franchises, Halloween, Friday the 13th, and Nightmare on Elm Street, but we're doing them as like the first of each, then the second of each, the third of each, and so on. And so it's going to be a while before we get to Halloween H2O.
Yeah.
I've seen nothing now after this. So we're going to see Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge next. Mm-hmm. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing that, of course. And Halloween 3 comes after that, Season of the Witch, which is totally separate from the other Halloween movies.
Yeah, it's not really even a slasher like the rest are. So it's kind of fun.
Yeah, so I'm just looking forward to these now.
Yeah, I like it. Well, I don't have a trivia question for this episode, but I do have a would you rather. Okay. Would you rather come across a shack like that and have to stay in it for shelter, or would you rather accidentally step in a trap like that and have to find your own way down? Which terrible scenario is slightly less terrible for you?
How long do I have to stay for shelter?
Let's say you have...
And what am I sheltering from?
Danger. Just you feel like something's after you. You're being hunted. Could be an animal or a serial killer.
I'm just staying there like overnight.
Yeah.
I think I would have to do that because at least I have the ability to still like defend myself.
And poop.
Sure. I mean, you could. I mean, if you're tied up like Scott is, you could poop.
You don't want to.
Nobody's stopping you.
You don't want to.
But
Gravity is not your friend.
But to the point earlier, I feel like you have to have a certain level of physical fitness to get out of that situation.
Yes.
Right? And so if I'm in this shack, at least I can move if I have to. Mm-hmm. Versus tied up, I can't. So that would be mine. Fair. What about yours?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't have upper body strength at all. Like, all my power's in my giant ass thighs. Like,
okay.
That's not happening. I'd rather hide out in that shack for 24 hours than spend 20 minutes in that trap.
Fair enough. All right. Well, anything else then on Friday the 13th, part 2
I did a little extra deep dive that maybe we can release as bonus content. I did some fun research looking into why campgrounds are one of the most popular settings.
Interesting.
It's in horror movies, it's campgrounds and academia locations that are the top.
Very cool. Yeah, I think a bonus episode of you going over that would be fun.
Yeah, cool.
Okay. We will consider that. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, that's it. We'll see you next time for Freddy's Revenge. This has been Love and Slashers.
We are hosted by Rae and Derrick Mayer.
And produced by Derrico Studios.
The show music is by Levi Kutsky.
The show logo is by Derrick Mayer.
Find all of our links at loveandslashers.com.
Thanks for listening, and keep trying to be that final girl.
Ooh, mow, mow, papa, ooh, mow, mow.
I was going to talk.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. It was.
That's how we're starting. That you're keeping that in.
No,
yes.
No, not doing it. I'm the editor. I decide what makes it in the episode. Unless you want to get into editing here.
God. It reminds me of the Monty Python Holy Grail scene where the animator is just like right in the middle, like dies. Like, no. All right.
That's a bonkers movie.
I know.